a.m. Quad Cities at News Talk 1420 WOC with Dan and Dan. Good morning. Well, we've talked with Carly Fiorina today. We've talked with Hillary Clinton today, but now it's time to bring in our A-list guest today, the big name, Andrew Chesser.
I thought we brought the Bruniversity guy back with the beer.
That was pretty good, too.
Did you bring us anything to drink?
I was about to say, I'm kind of mad. I missed the two presidential candidates, and I'm more mad I missed the beer guy.
Well, you could have brought some beer. They got beer over.
I didn't know. I thought that's frowned upon.
Next time. Well, it normally is, but
okay.
Whatever.
It's caucus day. Rules are all off.
Rules are off the table.
How are you, man? Andrew Chesser, the general manager of the River Bandits, joining us this morning.
I'm excited to be here. Excited to talk baseball.
So when you said you did the count, we're 74 days away?
We are 74 days away from opening day. It's kind of weird with this winter being so mild. It's not as exciting as it sometimes is when you say 74 days away from opening day. The past couple of years, we felt like we earned it a little bit more.
Right, when there's a foot of snow on the ground.
You shovel your way to the ballpark in the morning.
When you can still go, you can still walk out and look at the green grass on the field. You're like, I'm excited, but still,
there's a snowbank in the parking lot or something. I'll just focus on that for the next couple days.
So what's going on? How busy are you guys over? This is probably a busy time for you guys.
This is actually it's a really exciting time around the ballpark. There's a buzz. Everybody's got a lot of stuff going. I kind of always liken it to a squirrel getting ready for winter. This is when kind of all of our planning stages. We're doing all the behind the scenes work. We're finalizing all the details. We're ordering our bobbleheads that we get shipped to us. We're finalizing contracts for all those crazy on-field contestants we have where monkeys ride dogs, and finalizing our promo schedule, and writing our media guide, and graphic design stuff. Most people don't know we don't even get our roster until about 5 days before opening day. So a lot of that, we have to get ready, do everything beforehand, so that once we get our roster, we can do all the work that requires our roster then.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, because a lot of, you look at major league clubs and you look at these things, and they're promoting their players and all these different things. You don't have that luxury. That's why these events that you put together, these promotions, are so important for the survival of a minor league team. It
is. And, we always say if the fans leave the game knowing the score, we didn't do our job, because we have no control over the roster. We may get, in theory, the Astros could send us, a T-ball team from, Maquoketa, and we really have no say in that. So we may lose every game 50-0 for all we know. So we got to make sure there's plenty of fireworks, and there's plenty of bobbleheads, and plenty of, discounted, adult beverages,
right.
Which I know will bring you guys out, apparently.
Right.
To make sure that, fans have a good time no matter what. But thankfully, the Astros are really
good.
I
was going to say, they could do that, but they haven't done that to you guys yet.
No, we've been very fortunate. We made the playoffs last year. We had the best record in all of baseball. I think tied for the best record in all of baseball, majors or minors. We won the championship in 2012, I believe. We have our manager that won the championship for us in 2012, Omar Lopez, coming back, and the team below us won the championship in their level in Greenville. And the Astros had 2 of the top 5 draft picks last year. They signed those players, so we should have, in theory, if everything goes smoothly and no injuries or anything like that, we should have some pretty impressive players at the ballpark this year.
Wow.
One of those things that, you mentioned you don't get that roster until 5 days before the team arrives. One of the interesting things that the River Bandits do, it's the host program, the host family program that you do. Now, I just assumed all these guys stay in apartments or stay wherever, but some players actually live with just members of the community. Mm-hmm. So how does that work?
It's actually it's one of my favorite parts of it, because it really allows players to kind of ingrain themselves in the community. But what most people don't know is, when you see a player on TV in the major leagues, they're polished, they're professional, they've been traveling the country, they're used to this. A lot of our guys are 18 years old. They've never lived. If they've lived away from home, it's because they've been in a dorm in college. Some of them, the Quad Cities is their first stop in the United States outside of living in a dorm with all their players in Florida. If they're from South America or Canada or Australia or wherever our players come from. So this is their first kind of foray into the U.S. A lot of them have never signed a lease. They've never had a security deposit. They've never had a cable bill. They've never had to return a cable box. And the really hard part for them is that they may get called up or demoted within a week of them being here, within a day of them being here. So it's really hard for them to find places to sign leases and rent furniture and all of that. So we lean really heavily on the local community to basically host these players, allow them into their lives, give them a room, give them a bed, give them a kitchen, give them a bathroom to kind of, let them continue to grow as players and slowly learn how to become adults, as I kind of like to call it.
Yeah. Wow.
What kind of commitment do you need from like a family? What does a family have to do?
Really, it's not too hard. The only thing we really request is that it's somewhat close to the ballpark. A lot of our guys actually don't even have cars, so that always makes it a little bit difficult whether they can ride a bike or catch a ride from another player. Usually it helps if there's two players that can live there. That way, if one of the guys has a car, he can live there and drive the other guy. But really, it's just a space to allow them to live and a family to become a part of, so that the family doesn't have to, they're not required to feed them every night or anything like that. The players on their own for food, but we just kind of look for a free place for them to live, so that they can just be a part of the community and kind of get that home feeling away from home, whether they're homesick or anything like that.
So do you just compile a list of people who want that, and then once you get the roster, then you have your own little draft these families and put them together with it?
Yeah, pretty much. It's it's kind of like fantasy baseball all over again. Actually, before the season starts, we send living arrangements to the players down in Florida. We send it to our manager, and he gets it out to the players he assumes is going to be here. So he'll give them all the apartment complexes that have worked with players before, and then a primary contact, a woman named Amy, who's overseen our host family program since day one. And basically, the players are then on their own to call and either rent an apartment or call Amy, and she will work with all of the local host families to try and find what she thinks would be a good fit. Obviously, if we find out a player is allergic to cats and we have a family that has two or three cats, she'll look at them in a different direction. Or we have a family that has dogs and doesn't want, a player that, is afraid of dogs or anything like that. She'll work with them on that kind of stuff. But overall, it's just kind of we do our best to fit up like-minded players. And then before the season starts, we'll have a reception where host families can meet the players. And that way, really, if at that point they feel that, hey, for whatever reason, this isn't going to be a good fit, they'll do some shuffling and find another option for the player.
And the cool thing is you could have the potential to make a friend for life, and this friend might end up being a Major League Baseball star, right?
It's really neat, and that, like I said, that kind of ingrains these players into the community. The one family I mentioned, Todd and Amy, they actually hosted Colton Wong, the St. Louis Cardinals star, who was a first overall pick, and it's really neat. They still stay in contact. They were actually just down, I think, in Peoria, visiting him with the Cardinals caravan. They text back and forth all the time during the playoffs and during the season.
That's cool.
I can't promise that tickets are involved, but I know they go down to St. Louis every once in a while, and I have a hard time believing that they pay for tickets. So, it's there's perks there too. But again, we also, that kind of goes against the theme of it. We want people to just kind of do it to showcase the community and, again, just allow these players, a kind of a slice of home away from home while they learn to develop on the field, not just outside of the stadium.
If somebody wants to be a host family for a round time, how do they do
that? We've got all the information on our website, riverbandits.com, or our Facebook page, facebook.com/QC River Bandits.
Well, looking forward to having you guys here a bunch this year. Looking forward to baseball getting going. Like I said, caucuses. I'm tired of the politics. Let's get back to real life. Let's play some baseball in 74 days. Until opening day over at Modern Woodman Park. So we'll have you back, Andrew. Good seeing you again, and talk to you many more times this summer.
Wonderful. Can't wait. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Andrew Chesser, the general manager of the Quad City River Bandits.